Yo, what's up, everybody? It is April 3rd, Monday. Nice move up in the market. By the way, Friday was the first of the month payments day. It landed on the 31st. So we had a 103 billion flow day, net flow of 83 billion. So big, powerful day. I'm kind of disappointed that the NASDAQ couldn't close positive. But the problem is, folks, that's the best we're going to see for April, because April, as you know, we have tax drains coming up mid-April. So that was the big boost that we got at the beginning of the month. And now you can expect that we're going to see a pullback in the stock market, probably lasting into sometime, I would say around mid-May. Normally, these things take about 6 weeks to recover. Like I talk about taxes. I think I talk about taxes in a way that nobody else talks about it. I know it's not a comfortable subject and people don't like to talk about it. But it's like the government collects it and then it spends it back out as deficit spending. It adds to the financial balances. Now, it's not going out directly proportionally the way it came in. But again, if you think of the swimming pool example, and as long as that water, as long as that net flow is positive into the pool, then that's a good thing. Because ostensibly, if you had the wherewithal and the capability to make money while the pool was filling up, you should be able to continue under those conditions. Now, I know that it's hard for people. It's hard for a lot of people, and I get a lot of pushback on this. And believe me, I'm on your side with the pushback. I mean, I've said it a million times. I'm not the guy in control, so I can't direct these policies. It's Congress. Everything is wrapped up in political infighting, and it's mostly wrapped up in the fact that, or I guess tied up, hands tied by the fact that you have major moneyed interest, political donors, corporations, whatever, that control the situation for their own benefit. I gotta say something personal here right now, and I don't even know if this is the time and the place, but for those of you who know me and who've known me for a long time, you know I don't hold back on my feelings. I mean, I wear my, what they say, I wear my emotions on my shoulder, right? I'm going through a very, very hard breakup right now, which is just, it's killing me. It's excruciating. It's somebody I've been with for 6 years, and I really didn't see it coming. And it's tough. And I've been trying to watch a lot of videos about, dealing with grief and detachment and separation and breakups and stuff like that. I can't say it's never happened to me before, because it's happened to everybody. Everybody has experienced this. I had 2 marriages in the past. They both broke up. One, fortunately, broke up on good terms, and we're still in good terms, and we have kids together. The other one, not so much, but we have kids together. But the relationship between myself and my kids is fantastic. All my kids. I got 4 kids. But this particular one is killing me. So, some of you have noticed a change in my demeanor, and I wanted to bring that out. It has nothing to do with the market. I think the market, actually, if you think about it, it's been doing everything I said. I mean, you can go back to December of 2022. You can go back to December of 2021, And I said there's going to be a big contraction based on the contraction in the COVID fiscal support. And then at the end of 2022, I said it was going to be the end of the child tax care, the child tax credit, and then we were going to have a contraction, and I said it was going to stabilize and it was going to start to expand. And I pointed out to you the exact date. It was going to be in October, and that's when it happened. And all the way back in October, I said, get ready for February 15th was going to be the peak in the fiscal flows, and that was basically the top in the market. And then we're going to get back into this tax drain situation again, which we are in right now. Now, what's interesting for me is that fiscal flows are really strong right now. Like, I've been bringing this up on numerous videos where I said, look, in the Trump days when we were having this, wild bull market, government was net spending like 400 billion, or not net spending, but leading flow spending of 400 billion a month. Now we're doing almost 700 billion, 660, 670 billion a month. I mean, that is really, really significant. So as long as those flows are going in, remember, you can't pay your taxes until they put the money in there first. I know that's a concept that's hard for people to understand, because they're thinking like, hey, it's my checks that's funding the government. And it does feel that way. It absolutely does feel that way, and I can agree with everyone who says that. And I know that many of you have told me privately in emails and whatever that you have tried to argue with colleagues and family members and friends and say like it doesn't go that way, but they just don't want to hear it. And it's understandable because they got to write that check. But I mean, you cannot write check in dollars, unless the dollars are put there. I used one time, or many times, I've used the analogy of the game of Monopoly. Like, you can't play the game until the game distributes the money, right? If you roll the dice and you land on chess or community chest or chance, and it says pay tax $75, you're just giving back some of the money that the game has already distributed. And by the way, in the rules of the game, if you have a Monopoly game at home, you can read the rules and say if you run out of money, just write up new denominations on a piece of paper, on a scrap piece of paper. That's not to diminish the role of fiat money. No, I say fiat money is necessary because it expands with the needs of the economy. If we use that as a means of account, okay? We're not in a barter system where, I'm gonna be trading you a bushel of wheat for, a car or something like that. I mean, we've come up with a system over thousands of years where there's a numerical system of accounting, and we call that money, and that's all it is. When I was on Fox News the other day, and even my co-panelist there, who, by the way, John Lavorgna, I invited him on my podcast. He said, sure, Mike, I'll definitely come on. I actually invited Paul Tudor Jones, and he answered me, and he said, Mike, I'm really busy right now, but good luck. But that was cool that he answered me anyway. Even Lavorgna said, yeah, I mean, you can't run out of, these are electronic bookkeeping entries on the books of the Fed. All right, and the Treasury instructs the Fed, just like you instruct your bank, hey, go pay the electric bill, or go pay my rent, or whatever, and it's just done. All right, so you can't run out of those credits. What you can run out of are the physical assets that you need, for us to live. What's that? It's like food, shelter, clothing, medical care, maybe some leisure, energy, environment, land, Those are things you can run out of. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You can run out of those things. And simply printing money. Look, I've said this before in the past, and I'm going to say it again. And I think some of you, not a lot of you, will disagree with me. But I don't see how you can call yourself a capitalist if you don't believe in government spending. Because when the government spends to provision itself, whether that's like an army or infrastructure or healthcare for its citizens or whatever, when the government spends to provision itself, it induces the private sector to create those goods and services that the government is willing to pay for. And that's the essence of capitalism, right? That's the capitalist drive. That's the capitalist motive. That's the capitalist goal, to make money. That's the profit motive. So, you can't call yourself a free market capitalist and at the same time be against government spending. Now, I granted that you can have differences with the way it's spent. I certainly do. Like I certainly do. When Biden wants $890 billion, almost $1 trillion for the defense budget, and boom, the money's there. Like, well, that's like what, 7 or 8 times more than every 7 or 8 countries combined behind us, or maybe more than that. I don't know. But the money's always there. Nobody asks like, where's the money going to come from? Or you need a $14 billion for an aircraft carrier. Boom, you got it. How many of these Ford class, I think we got 4 of these Ford class aircraft carriers, and then we have those other ones, I don't know if they're the Nimitz or whatever. I mean, nobody has a Navy like the United States. I mean, we're talking trillions. Nobody questions that. I mean, you go to a ball game, airplanes are flying over, and I'm not anti-patriot, I'm not anti-military. I'm just saying, like, where are the priorities? Anyway, let's get back to the markets. So here we are in April. We just had the big boost from the first of the month spending. I think this is the best we're going to see for this month, maybe for the next 6 weeks, maybe for the next 2 months, because we're going to have that tax drain. Now, I will throw in this caveat, or this just a clarification. If we don't see a significant pullback, then that is your barometer. That is your indicator of how strong these monthly flows are. These monthly flows are so, remember, we're not like in a COVID stimulus anymore. This is just our natural flow rate of like freaking 600 billion a month. I mean, you can't even talk about that. If you go back to the Bush, George Bush era, we were talking 300 billion a month. I mean, that's double. That's significant. That is really, really something. And I keep telling you guys, and a lot of you guys have caught on, I said, like, you just can't be bearish. I mean, you can if you want to play these little seasonal swings, but in the big picture, you just can't stay bearish when you have this kind of funding going in. You still have a lot of spare capacity. We haven't completely opened up from the pandemic. That's all going to happen. We're also going through this period in the world of like breaking up a global trading system that has been in existence for like 40 years. That's destabilizing. New bonds are being formed, new ties are being formed. So like, yeah, a lot of those things add volatility, but the point is, we're not at a loss for funding of all these things. We're at a loss for comprehension. That's clear. I mean, you just have to listen to Powell to understand that. We're at a loss for comprehension. But I mean, that comes and it goes. That's a headline. That's a headline. And I tell you how many times you guys would say, just like, fade the headlines, right? So anyway, that's it. I'm a little bit heartbroken. I'm a lot heartbroken. and I'm dealing with it. But it's tough. But I still want to bring you guys good information, and I love all you guys. Take care. Sign up for my report, man. MMT Trader. There's nothing like it. Bye.